Hey guys, Reaper back from the grave, and this is my Ultimate Blessings Guide. In this vid, I'll be going over the new blessings that were recently released. While for now, I only have most of them at Legendary, I'll still be showing them at their Transcendent rarity. But I'll also be giving you guys the best choices for empowerment and survival, finishing off with telling you where you can actually attain and upgrade more blessings. Starting off with lightning speed, I really like this one. You have to put up to 220 stat points into agility to reap the benefits, but because it's agility dependent, it not only raises your attack, but your base crit rate by a good amount. Every enemy has a hidden crit resistance that only goes up further the higher they are in level than you. Overcrit is a pretty big thing, and using this blessing with sharp perception is like crit resist be gone. Also Egress. Toughness set is a good option too. Having that much crit rate against crit resistant enemies is borderline saying, with all of my strength I will defeat all of yours. And with that we have First Strike Barrage, another good one. It's essentially expert set but in reverse. You don't receive as much attack as with that set, but because it's not crit dependent and doesn't have a cooldown, it stacks much faster. And you don't have to use it with expert set either. It's fast stacking, so it helps in those shorter battles. Couple it with Obsidian set, and it really fits the I want the enemy lifeless this second vibe. Next up, we have Irresistible Force and Crushing Attack. You don't have to put them together, but they're both break-based, so I am here. They're pretty much Desire in the Obsidian set without the mana dependency. Mana management isn't all too difficult with options like Teeth of the Watcher and Hand Semi, but these make it less cumbersome. Partnering these up with 4 Chaotic Desire and 4 Destructive Instinct is one of, if not my favorite way to use them. Pulverize works well with them too, further increasing damage done to the enemy in their bruised, broken, battered state. You'd think Fatal Strike might work and increase basic attacks, but the break comes from the passive via critting. Irresistible Force will still buff attack in general, therefore basic attacks as well, so go off. Finally for empowerment we have Sandbag. This is my most favorite blessing to take out. It's kind of like a roller coaster, so to speak. You take a 10% dip and cruise along for a bit just to shoot up 50% from that after 2 minutes. I barely noticed a 10% decrease in the first place, but it's really for the long fights. Use it with expert set to see crazy amounts of attack in the long run. And on to survival. Swift Restoration is nice because the first half of the passive increases the healing you get from literally any source by a good margin. The second half will only get better the higher up we are in level because his base HP will increase. Irreversible Road isn't too much to write home about. Pitting up your defense against the tougher enemies is like unlocking the boss as a playable character. For instance, I recently found out Enio from POD has 75k defense, and for comparison's sake, I have 10k. I'm rounding up, but using this would get it up to 15k. You can use it with Tenacity to increase it further, but why would you want to be almost dead? The next blessing I'll show is a lot better. The best defense is a good offense. This is my favorite survival blessing. Every time you ult, you get a shield equal to a substantial amount of HP, and it'll last a good while, so it's like a safety net. Shields are great because they absorb the hit, and even if they break, your poise won't, so less time being knocked around and having your skills fail and more time leveling up. Last but probably least, we got Ravenous Instinct. It does boost defense, but I personally dislike it because you aren't shielded, and you have to play low MP, and mana is kind of everything in the game and in solo leveling in general. A lot of the time when using buffs that rely on MP amount, you go above or below the threshold anyway, so play it safe and use something with less codependency. It's in the general consensus that the top 3 blessings in most, if not all, content are Reawakening, Sharp Perception, and Bloodlust, leaving a flex slot that depends on the content you're doing. For Proof of the Strong, Lightning Bug will make crit resistance easier to cut through. Team battles will generally require We Are One to help out your hunters. Enemies with a break bar will struggle against crushing attack, and adding destructive instinct in the mix further capitalizes on that. Use First Strike Barrage for quick skirmishes, and Sandbag for the really long battles. Survival blessings, from what I've seen, don't have a common ground, but shielding yourself as often as possible does it. Candiara's blessing wasn't as great at the start, as we didn't have that much HP for it to go off of, but it resides in my favorite combo now. Best defense, aggressive defense, and life all give you HP based shields that can feed off of Candiara's blessing. Candiara's also works in a regen build in tandem with camouflage, HP extraction, and swift restoration, and sets like Burning Blessing. If you don't have shielding or healing blessings and have to go the damage reducing route, Solidify, Kazuka Scales, Tenacity, or Irreversible Road work together, giving a good amount of damage reduction, some defense, and a bit of shield effect. Also, the reason I didn't mention Kazuka Scales in the shield setup is because despite how strong it is, your shield's still probably gonna break, and I feel it's better to simply increase your HP a bit and how often you're shielded. Honorable mention to the daily quest completion and mana powered shield duo, because as long as you have the mana, you probably will not die. Weekly, you'll get Powders of Blessing from Power of Destruction, the amount going up depending on how well you do, and it has a potential to give the most at a time, but if you want it in set amounts, you can buy some from the guild shop, with Transcendent stones being there as well, but it's up to RNG. You need 15 of each, and a duplicate legendary to synthesize them. Also, in other news, you will have to refresh your support to continue receiving codes that way, but I'll simply leave that link in the description below. 6 feet below. Alright hunters, that's it from me. Don't stop scratching your nail through the coffin.